Good morning, dear students. Myself, Dr. Priya, working as Associate Professor in Chemistry, Department of Humanities and Sciences, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. So, in today's session, we are going to learn about corrosion. What do you mean by corrosion? That is definition of corrosion. What are the reasons for corrosion reaction to take place, or causes that are responsible for formation of corrosion reaction, and then few examples. So, coming to introductory part of corrosion reaction. So, it is defined as the process of gradual destruction or deterioration or gradual disintegration of any metallic surface whenever it is exposed to environmental gases or due to electrochemical attack. So, if you notice its definition, there are two reasons for corrosion reaction to take place in the nature. First reason or first cause is due to the attack of environment gases or atmospheric gases like oxygen, chlorine, hydrogen sulfide, fluorine. So, if these attack directly on the metallic surface, then they involve in a process called corrosion reaction. So, and the second reason it is electrochemical attack. So, this is purely due to the formation of either galvanic cell or voltaic cell on the surface of the metal. So, as a whole, if you notice, there are two reasons for corrosion reaction to take place. One is due to chemical attack. And second one, it is electrochemical attack. Chemical attack, it is purely due to attack of atmospheric gases on the metallic surface, and electrochemical attack means formation of voltaic or galvanic cell on the surface of the metal. So, coming to the examples for corrosion reaction, rusting of iron. So, generally if a piece of iron bar is exposed to atmosphere for few days, especially in winter season, we can notice a formation of reddish brown color layer on the surface of the iron. That is what we call it as rusting of iron, and that process is an example for corrosion reaction. So, and similarly, if you notice the surface of any copper block or material or object, so it also involves in corrosion reaction, because of which bluish green color layer formation will take place. That is purely due to the corrosion reaction. Similarly, silver also. Upon the surface of the silver metal, we can notice black color layer formation, that is called tarnishing of silver. That is also another example for corrosion reaction. So, in almost all the metals except platinum, gold and silver in the nature that were existing in the nature, remaining all metals, they were produced in the nature, that is in the earth's core, in a combined form. That means they are available in the earth's core in combined state, in their oxide form, hydroxide form, carbonate form, chlorides, sulfides and silicates. These are what we call it as ores or impure form of metal, or simply we will call them as mineral deposits that were produced in the earth's crust. So, if you notice the examples part, as I told you, rusting of iron is an example. See, this is one chain that is made up of alloy of iron. So, whenever it is exposed to atmospheric gases, it is able to involve in corrosion reaction. That is what we call it as rusting of iron. And this is the example for copper metal, upon which due to corrosion reaction, we can notice the formation of bluish green color layer. So, this is a silver coin. Whenever it is half of its portion, it is exposed to the environmental gases, so that remaining half it is away from the corrosion reaction. So, as I told you, metals, they exist in impure form in the nature in the earth's core as mineral deposits. That means metals are produced from their ores. That means ore is nothing but impure form of metal. That means it is present in hydrate form, sulfide form, oxide form, like that. So, that ore, it is thermodynamically it is stable. It is purely stable in nature. If such kind of ores are extracted from the earth's crust and by supplying some amount of energy and involving in reduction reaction, that is what we call it as metallurgy. That reaction is what we call it as metallurgy. In metallurgical industries, these ores, that means impure form of metals, they were subjected to reduction reaction by supplying some amount of energy, because these are stable in nature. That's why they need some amount of energy to involve in the reactions. So, if these ores were subjected to reduction reaction by supplying some amount of energy, that is what we call as metallurgy or metal extraction process, we will get a pure form of metal like oxides, hydrides, sulfides. Impure form ores will be present in the soil, from which by supplying some amount of energy and subjecting to reduction reaction, we will get a purest form of metal. So generally these metals will have a tendency to revert back to their original form. That is, as these are unstable in nature, they will try to come back to its original form and will convert into their impure form, that is like oxide, hydride and sulfide. So how it will happen means these impure ores will convert into metals, and these metals will have a tendency to come back to the original form because they are very unstable in nature by involving in oxidation. That means by losing electrons, they involve in oxidation to convert into their impure form, that is ore, original form they will convert. So this reaction is what we call it as corrosion reaction, which is the reverse process of reduction. That means these two are both forward as well as backward reactions. So if you notice ore, that is impure form of metal, by supplying some amount of energy and subjecting to reduction reaction, they will convert into purest form of metal. So generally these metals will have a tendency to revert back to their original form by involving in oxidation. That is what we call it as corrosion reaction. That means both are forward as well as backward reactions. That means reverse reactions will take place. So this is about the introduction part of today's session. That is about the corrosion definition and what are the major reasons for corrosion reaction to take place. So today we have discussed about the introductory part of corrosion reaction, and then causes, what are the major reasons for corrosion reaction to take place in nature. So and then what is the link between metal and its ore. So far what we have discussed in today's session. So in the coming session we will go for discussing about mechanism of corrosion reaction. Mechanism part of corrosion reaction. So that's all for today's class. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you.